What's up, everybody? I need you to know right now that you are trailblazing and bulldozing over anything that could have stopped you or anything coming behind you. Could be generational, could be people, but there were obstacles or traps set that maybe a lot of people came to and they got to a point of giving up. But you're about to discover new ways, new methods, new strategies, and what used to stop others before you, you're going to bulldoze through. And because you're bulldozing past obstacles that have yet to be passed, you're going to create a new set of tracks, right? So imagine this road right here. You in that whip, you driving, and you bulldoze past this obstacle. Well, let's say that there was no more street after that. You have the ability to create a new street. This is where that whole trailblazing is coming. And you're setting a way and you're setting a tone that now others could have a smoother ride through, okay? So we're gonna be jumping into these vibes. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like this video, and head on over to waterstarvibes.com to grab the alternate reality tarot deck. All right, so let's get to it. First card up, we got, the Tower. Boom. You shaking something up. It's like the world is about to feel your thunder. Okay, think about that horsepower in this type of truck. Like, as soon as you start that up, it's gonna start rumbling, right? Things gonna start vibrating, things gonna start shaking, and that's where you're getting the power from. Okay, so this tower is talking about you're bringing something down, you're figuring something out, and then you're learning how to bring that out into the world. Okay, what it is you're about to do is about to cause a tower moment in a lot of areas, because I feel like a lot of the obstacles that have been set, or a lot of the traps, or the way that we've even been programmed here in the wonderful world of the Matrix, it's like people have had caps put on them, they've had glass ceilings put over them, but you about to shatter something. And I think even the people in higher places might be a little upset at that, and that's just gonna be too bad. All right, let's see what we got crossing it. The Seven of Wands. So in a way, you're going to kind of stand up for yourself or stand up for a group of people, and it is going to knock down a glass ceiling. Like, let's say, for example, how I was saying people at the top or people in high positions. Let's say it's an executive, this tower, and they have the employees and these bad conditions, but you stand up for something, you say something, or you leave that company and start your own company and bring all of those people over. And it's like, wait a minute, I didn't expect them to do that. So you're standing up. And I think that might be a key secret. How are you going to break past these obstacles, these issues, these obstructions, these things that are set to make lots of people quit? How are you going to move past it? You're going to stand up for yourself. I know that this is the time where a lot of people are being exposed and a lot of stuff is coming to light, but who you are and the results you can get simply by putting your foot down, this is about to be a new emergence. People who've always been people pleasers or have always happened to take the back seat, when you finally put your foot to the pedal and step up and blaze this trail, you're really going to shake a lot of things up. And again, this is new stuff that ain't never been done before. Let's see what we got behind the scenes that you may or may not be aware of. The Six of Wands. So this is going to be some type of public victory. Some type of public victory is brewing for you. Or your name is in spaces that you don't know about. You have done something already to set some type of trail and you may not even know it. So Six of Wands, again, you're standing up, you're proud, you're victorious, you won something, you're acknowledged for something. All of these things are coming up for you or actually happening behind the scenes. Let's say you're in this truck and you riding and you blazing this trail. You don't know what's going on behind you or around you. You focused. You on your path. So that's why this reading is important, to let you know that there's victory happening even in places you can't see. All right, let's see what is good, what is high vibrational at this time. The Wheel of Fortune. So things turning in your favor. Once again, we had this card before in a different reading. Major arcana, life changing. Again, these things have never happened before. It's, every few years or so, we get something new that helps change and evolve and push forward the world. I was there when we didn't have cell phones, and then we got cell phones, and then we had computers, and then we had internet, and then we had social media, and all these things came along and changed the way we lived and thought and interacted. And you are part of the new movement of new things that are coming in that are going to change the world in that type of way. Now, some of you guys may be like, I already know what I'm going to do. I already know how it's going to happen. I already know. And some of y'all are hearing this message and that light bulb is turning on for the very first time, that if it, out of millions of people that it could be, why can't it be me? Why can't that one be me? And that's going to spark something and set the universe in alignment, and all of the chain of events that are supposed to happen are going to start to line up. And as long as you keep walking in that path, as long as you keep driving in that path, no matter what obstructions come in your way, no matter what obstacles come to stop you, as long as you keep pushing through, you will get to where you're going, even if you have to pave your own way. Oh, has nobody ever did that before? We don't have that in our family. Nobody in the world ever created a that before. But guess what? You're going to do it. You are the blueprint. Let's see what we have on the low vibrational end, what you got to watch out for, what you got to know. The 3 of coins. Okay. So 2 things on both sides of the coin. First of all, this represents collaboration. So on one end, if you're not a collaborator, you see how she driving? She by herself, solo mission, right? So maybe some of y'all are on a solo mission, and you got to be okay with that. If you blazing a new trail, everybody may not understand. Everybody may not see what it is, okay? But then on the flip side, for some of you guys, you might need to collaborate. You might need to find some type of community. You might need to find others to work with, or that'll be a part of how you blaze a trail, right? Because you stand up for yourself, and then you end up merging with other people who are in your same vibe, and together y'all push forward. So you know which one you're supposed to do, okay? For everybody, I feel like it'll be different. But either you need to start working and collabing with other people, or become a part of some community, or you need to be okay being on this solo mission until you break that glass ceiling, okay? Or you bust through that obstacle, that barrier. Let us see what we got. Let's talk about the next 7 days, okay, for this vibe. The 6 of Swords. Okay, so we had this in a different reading too. Moving on silently and quietly from something. This is not something that you necessarily have to say out loud. When you blaze this trail, or when you bulldoze through this obstacle, for some of you guys, you're going to do it quietly. That person that looks like they're on the road by themselves. So for some of you guys, again, with this 6 of Swords, solo mission. She got away on her boathouse in the middle of the night. She was able to make moves, smooth sailing. So for some of y'all, again, as long as you're just pushing through, following to where you know you have to go, it will be a smooth ride, except for when you get to that obstacle, you're going to bulldoze through it, right? It's going to cause that tower. You're going to shake something up. But let's see. Let's keep going. What's the bottom of the deck for this entire reading? Whew, the 9 of coins. The 9 of coins. Millionaire status. And you know what? As I say that, the card falls over and the 5 of wands shows up. Now, I think that's interesting, and I'll just let that sit there because I think we got that at the end of the last reading, all right? But first of all, let's talk about this 9 of coins. You are definitely working towards that legendary, iconic energy. I was thinking about this the other day. You know how like back in the day, Nicki Minaj had songs like Moment for Life and Beyonce, Crazy in Love, like they were just starting. Those songs weren't classics. They weren't iconic, But now, over 20-something years later, it's like, man, I remember that like it was yesterday. But now, those same songs are iconic. These women are legends. So it's not about, in the moment, it working and popping off right away. It's about how it's going to withstand the test of time and then become legendary and iconic because of that. So whatever it is that you're doing is becoming legendary and iconic over time. So it's important that you don't despise the small beginnings or take for granted the small victories that you get along the way. Now, let's jump into this Five of Wands. This Five of Wands is important because you got to get kind of like your battle face on, your warrior face on. All right. You gotta pick it up. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean like in the way you hold yourself up, and the way you think about yourself, in the way that you put the pedal to the metal. Like, it's time to really just be like, you know what? I know what I got. I know what I'm doing, and I know the trail that I'm supposed to be on. And it's also talking about you may have competition. Be ready to compete. You think that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and all those girls in the league, you think they ain't thinking about competing? They gotta compete. That's what it's all about. So even if you have to think about this in terms of I'm competing for my millions, I'm competing for my legacy, then baby, game on. For those of you who know that you can do this, I'm calling you to rise up with the rest of us and do it. Okay? But I don't see no trail. That's because you supposed to go create it. But nobody I know ever did it. That's because God told you to do it. You feel what I'm saying? So get ready to get to these legendary generational millions, possibly billions for some of y'all. And you know what she said? She said, all my life I had to fight. You did. You had to fight when you was young. You had to fight through school. You had to fight to do this and get that. So you might as well fight for this legacy. You might as well fight for that dream. You might as well fight to break past the barriers and bulldoze through things that they said you never could. You might as well. Choose your heart. It's hard to be a failure. Whoo, geez, that's real hard. It's hard to be a loser. My God. But it's also hard to follow your dreams. It's hard to achieve legendary status. Choose your heart, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, head on over to Patreon for more content. Make sure you guys head on over to waterstarvibes.com to get the tarot deck and guidebook. All right, so I appreciate y'all so much. See y'all in the next video.